There you go.
Yeah, from here, those look like cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no facial expression on the building.
Well, unless you think those two windows are its eyes and the gate is its mouth, in which case it's pretty surprised.
Either that or bawling its eyes out. Poor building is crying.
It's a very sad building. From the cover of a ruined house, you watch the traffic of Giax and Dracarim, all clad in orange uniforms bearing the mark of a bloodied scythe. The more you stare at the citadel, the more you are sure that this is where Bainton is being held prisoner. However, entry into the citadel itself looks to be impossible until, that is, an opportunity unexpectedly presents itself.
It looks to be impossible until it don't look impossible anymore.
Yep.
But frigging duh!
Directly across the street from where you're hiding, you see a square flat-roofed tower, one of several which encircles the outer edge of the concourse. A flock of screeching crows are feeding on slabs of maggoty meat, which has been left there by the Dracarim guards. Once they have eaten their fill, they take to the air and return to their cave-like pens, located high up on the citadel's outer wall. Some of the returning crows are ridden by Dracarim and other guards, who steer their mounts towards landing platforms with jut-like great steel tongues from the entrance to the pens. It occurs to you that if you were able to mount one of the feeding crows, you could attempt to enter the citadel by the very same route. Emboldened by your plan, you resolve to put it into action. Patiently, you survey the feeding tower opposite and note that there are two ways to gain access to its roof. You could climb the staircase that runs directly from the street to the roof, or you could attempt to scale its wall.
Well, it's not because we can't scale walls.
No. You move stealthily to a new position directly opposite the tower and wait for the traffic of Giax and Dracarim to clear. The street is soon empty and you get ready to make your move. Do you wish to ascend the stairs, which lead directly to the tower roof, or to climb the tower wall?
Let's take the stairs.
Why not?
Thank you. You sprint across the street and bound up the tower stairs. You're halfway up when suddenly there's a loud clunk, and you look up to see a heavy wooden lock, pierced by a crisscross of metal staves sharpened on either end, come careening down the steps towards you. Frozen with horror, you can but stare at the brutal face of Drakkar, who is peering over the edge of the tower parapet. He guards this feeding tower, and with gleeful expectation he watches his toy, the great spiked log, bounces on the steps and spins straight towards his latest unsuspecting victim. There's a picture!
Wonderful!
So yeah, this thing's coming straight for your face.
Fuck!
Oh.
Givenir, roll a die. Add 2 for Grand Hunt Mastery.
10?
In total?
Yep.
In the face of this deadly trap, you draw on all your skills and agility in order to save yourself from a grisly death. As the log falls upon you, you turn sideways and dive headlong between the spinning staves. You land heavily on the stone steps, bruising your hand, lose 1 endurance point, but you have successfully avoided being impaled upon the terrible steel spikes. You just pulled a Matrix on that thing.
Nice.
You race up the remaining steps and take hold of the Drakkar by the throat. Desperately, he fights to free himself from your crushing grip, kicking and scratching like a wild animal until you are forced to let him go. As you do so, he stumbles and falls backward over the parapet, landing with a shriek in the street below. You glance over the stone rail and see that he has met his doom, impaled upon the spikes of his cruel device. And that's what we call irony. Now you turn your attention to the 5 crone which are feeding on the roof. Gingerly you approach them, hoping not to startle them into flight, but the commotion...
Gingerly?
What?
Gingerly?
Gingerly, yeah.
It just means carefully. Yeah, I also think it sounds like we're strolling up, swinging our arms, but...
And your presence has made them very uneasy. You notice that only one of the 5 crone is equipped with a saddle and reins. You focus on this beast and use your Magnified skills of animal control in an attempt to subdue it. The other 4 abandon their feast and take to the air as you approach, but the target of your attention remains on the roof, eyeing you nervously. You approach to within an arm's length of the reins when suddenly the crone takes fright. Suddenly the crone takes fright. I think there's a spelling mistake here.
Yeah.
Unless it suddenly pulls out a mask and goes oogie boogie boo. It beats its wings frantically in an attempt to knock you away, and then propels itself into the air. You leap for its neck and hold fast as the spawn clears the tower and takes to the sky. Desperately, you try to swing yourself into the saddle as the creature hovers haphazardly 50 feet above the concourse. What's your endurance score?
35.
Right. Okay, Givenir, roll the die. Add 2 for having over 20 endurance and 1 for having Grand Hunt Mastery.
13.
Using all your strength, you haul yourself into the saddle and hold fast as the crone soars upward into the stormy sky. Frantically, you kick and beat the creature with your fist until reluctantly it submits to your will. That's not how you train an animal, Lone Wolf! You're doing it wrong! Pulling back on the reins, you urge it to go higher. Then a few well-aimed slaps to its thorny head persuade it to bear you towards the landing platform situated above the great north door. Lone Wolf, animal abuser. As you draw closer to your chosen destination, you see 2 platforms which are open and unguarded. One has an arch-shaped portal, the other a wider oblong-shaped entrance. Do you wish to land at the arch-shaped portal or the oblong-shaped entrance?
Arch-shaped.
Yeah, sure.
As the crone glides towards the semicircular platform, you swing one leg over its neck and get ready to leap from the saddle the moment it lands. With cat-like agility, you jump the last remaining few feet onto the platform and run through the open archway. 2 Dracarum crone handlers suddenly appear before you, but your quick wits and camouflage skills keep you from being seen. As the handlers walk out onto the platform to tend to the screeching crone, you run towards the rear of the pen where a spiral staircase leads off to levels above and below. Do you wish to go up or down?
Up.
Agreed.
Okay.
The stairs ascend to a chamber lined with wooden racks, covered with saddlery, lances, tack, and all manner of crone kit. A single Drakkar occupies this musty room. He is asleep on a chair near to a window, which overlooks a landing platform and the city far below. You are tempted to take hold of the snoring guard and force him to tell you where Baindon is being held, but you daren't risk being detected. If the guard should raise the alarm, your chance of finding and rescue your friend will be greatly reduced. By the way, it was Magi Magic you picked up the 2 magic skills, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to remember. After some deliberation, you decide to let the Drakkar sleep undisturbed. You climb the stairs and emerge in the center of a hall on the level above. This vault-like room contains a wealth of grim exhibits, hung upon the walls and displayed in glass-fronted cases. The skulls of rare creatures are displayed beside tanned hides and jewel-encrusted bones. One item in particular catches your eye. It is a statuette fashioned in the likeness of Dark Lord Sagana. If you wish to take it, you can do so.
Okay.
No.
Why not?
Dark Lords. I sort of expect the item to be cursed.
Okay, fine. Then we don't take it.
Well, what do you say, Givenir?
I don't really know. I'm a bit more concerned with there being an alarm on it, really.
Alright, so you don't take it?
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay. You ascend several levels of the citadel by slope and stair until you reach a vast hall festooned with icy stalactites. In the dim distance, you see the yellowy glow of a warmer chamber, and you hurry towards it, taking care not to slip on the treacherous frost-covered floor. You are near the center of this chamber when the temperature drops dramatically. Unless you possess the discipline of Grand Nexus, you lose 5 endurance points. And you don't, so...
God damn it.
You lose 5 endurance points due to the extreme cold. Soon you arrive at a circular chamber. There's a huge hole in the roof and another hole equally large in the middle of the floor. Carefully you approach the perimeter of this hole and stare down into a deep, dark shaft.
Again.
Yeah, again.
It passes through countless levels of the citadel, below and above. The edge of the shaft is overgrown with ivy-like creepers, and a tangle of thorny vines hang down from the levels high above. Do you wish to climb the vines to another level of the citadel, or would you rather ignore the shaft and continue along the adjoining tunnel?
Let's ignore the shaft.
I concur.
The tunnel
Yeah, maybe that word will stop following us around if we just ignore it.
The tunnel ends at a huge echoing hall. It was once a place of worship dedicated to Sagana, Dark Lord of Kog. Now, however, it lies in total ruin, having been ransacked and destroyed by those who took command following his destruction by your hand at the raising of the siege of Holmgard. In the alcoves and grottos that adjoin this hall, where once stood effigies of Sagana, there now stands likeness of Dark Lord Slutar. Behind one such tribute you notice something very unusual, yet familiar. A column of shimmering blue light descends into the alcove from a hole in the middle of the roof, and passes through a similar hole in the floor. Your senses tingle as you gaze at this column, for you immediately recognize its purpose. Within the confines of the light, gravity is greatly reduced. It is used as a means of transportation, an elevator that can take you to other levels of Kog, either above or below. The last time you saw one of these devices was in Helgedad, the former principal stronghold of the Darklands. Do you wish to step into the transporter beam, or would you rather leave the ruined hall by the tunnel in the north wall?
Choice.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
You step warily into the glimmering column of light and immediately feel yourself begin to rise. Bands of darkness flick past with growing rapidity, each one marking a passing level of this mountainous citadel. Then you feel yourself slowing to a halt. The column fades and you find yourself standing on a metal dais in the center of a domed chamber. Ahead you see a great door, forged of Kagonite, and beside it there is a narrow staircase leading downwards. As you approach the door, you notice the lock which secures it. It is inlaid with a series of numbers, and at once you recognize that they are component parts of a combination lock. Once one number in the sequence is missing, by tapping the correct number upon the blank square, you will cause the lock to disengage. Study the following sequence of numbers carefully. When you think you know what the missing number is, turn to the... you just tell me. And you'll get the picture now. Right, here's the lock.
6,561. 81. No.
Just a moment.
9. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, 9 times 9 equals 81. And
Way ahead of you.
And 81 times 81 equals 6,561.
So what? Oh, then it's 3.
Your guess is free?
Yeah. 3
Yep.
times 3 equals 9.
9 times 9 equals, and so on. Yeah, it's 3.
Okay, your answer is free. You sure?
Yep.
Yes.
Right. On the third tap, the lock emits a distinct click, and slowly the great door swings open to reveal a dark, smoky tunnel. Verily, you pass through the door and into the unwelcoming passage.
It's incredibly so moody this place is. No, seriously, someone should just...
Well, we are in the Darklands, so...
No, but seriously, someone should cheer this place up a bit.
Maybe some nice colors, a new rock here and there, some streamers or something.
Or maybe invite some traveling minstrels. That might cheer the place up a bit to have some music.
Yep. The dark tunnel descends. The dark tunnel descends to a titanic circular hall, which is lit by a lava-filled vent at its center. Tunnels radiate from this hall in every direction, like the spokes of an infernal wheel, their destinations mere pinpoints of flames in the far distance. The air here is thick and cloying. It is choked by sulfur and other foul discharges of noisy engines located deep in the bowels of Kog.